welcome back. Screens all over the place. Alright, so instead of drafting bad, which is what I was going to do, instead I decided that I wanted to jump in and try out the Mirage-ish block standard throwback Gauntlet. Coffee, really good. So there's a number of decks basically in the Gauntlet. It's a Gauntlet. I happen to get Godzilla or Reanimator, and I don't know if we're going to fail, if it's going to be any good. We'll certainly try. As you might remember, second screen isn't working, so having to use chat on my phone, I apologize, because I'm going to be looking off to the side a lot. Also, my contact lens at the moment is being all weird and horrible, and I just want to cut my eye out, basically. But that's not an option, so yay! Alright, so basically with this deck, it's a pretty easy deck to explain, sort of. Get a big creature, chuck it in your graveyard, reanimate it, smash face. That's Reanimator in a shell. This one is a little bit different. It plays like, look at that, Sliver Queen. Back in the day, it was a really good creature because, you know, it's 7/7, it's big, it's hard to deal with. This does have a Living Death in it, which is interesting. So that could be fun because you're discarding a whole lot. I haven't really, even back in the day, I didn't play this deck. I actually played the Frost Bloom deck, just Cadaverous Bloom, Prosperity, Drain Life. Very, very combo, and that was the first pure combo deck that I can remember in Magic history, really. And it was a very hard deck to play. It wasn't easy. It wasn't just like, I'll jump in, I'll, you know, buy this deck and I'll go and win a tournament. It wasn't even like that. Especially for its time. It was a very math-based deck. I know that it probably just looks like pretty standard and pretty easy these days, but back then it was like, alright, well, what is the fastest turn I can go off? How many cards do I need to draw? Do I need luck? So let's go in with this one, and we will see what we can do with Reanimator, because I'm really interested. Again, most of the cards in here are either based on discarding cards into the discard pile or reanimating those cards back into play. Hopefully we don't run up against something like Drogo, which technically could be really bad for us, I think. Trying to remember, I mean, Drogo back in the day was pretty horrible, but there were a lot of extended tournaments that you would play where you would be the Cad Bloom player, basically. Frost Bloom playing Force of Will, and that was just simply to stop counter decks. I think that was extended. I think the last time I played that deck was 2009, maybe? And I should have kept all my cards. That was back when Force of Will was like $20 or something ridiculous. Silasari, thank you very much for the host. Because back in my day, he says as he grabs his coffee, a lot of those cards that are now worth like up to $100 were a pittance. Because you could still buy packs of alliances for like, you know, $15 a pack. You can still get a box of alliances for well under the $300 mark. Not anymore. Join match. Gabriel. Alright, so we're going to go first. Would we like to play first? Now, here's the thing, because if we go on the draw, we can simply just not play a land and chuck a fatty into the discard pile. And I think I just want to see what my opponent's playing anyway. So we're going to say no. And then get completely screwed by our hand, and that's fine. City of Brass, Dark Rituals, Animates, but nothing amazing. Mulligan. And now we get everything we wanted. We can Hidden Horror first turn, discarding Sliver Queen or something, but we've got no reanimation spells. But we can get a 4/4 out in the first turn, so I think we'll do that. I think we will. We'll see what happens. Duba TV, thank you so much for the host, buddy. If you don't know who Duba TV is, he is the editor of a website that I occasionally write for called stickytrigger.com. And you should all go and visit it and read their lovely gaming articles on video games and the occasional magic article by yours truly. In case you don't know who I am, because I didn't even bother introducing myself, I am Cheshire Plays Games, and I play games. What a surprise. Oh, necromancy. Okay, yeah, that can go on top. Necromancy. Oh, you know what? Not even gonna have enough to... yeah, right, okay. I don't remember what deck this is. Time I wish I had my phone for reference. Okay, so... Sulphurous Springs, tap it for black, Dark Ritual, Hidden Horror, discarding probably Verdant Force, always yield, discard Verdant Force, and then yield like you know how to. Hidden Horror actually is in, I believe, another deck in this gauntlet as well. There is a black or suicide black deck, which is amazing. It's black weenies and it's fast and it hits hard and it's just such a good deck. Oh my goodness, it's so good. But that's one of the decks that I played back in the day. Oh, this is the Survival of the Fittest deck. Okay, right. So you got a creature card, search your library for whatever card that you need, basically. Reveal that card, put it in your hand. Ugh. This could all be over already. So basically, Survival of the Fittest deck, or what was the black card? There was a black card that went with it. Anyone help me out in chat? But basically, Recurring Nightmare of the Fittest, was a pretty harsh deck, and I don't know if we're going to be able to win this one, but we're certainly going to try. Yep. I can't believe there's 2 Sliver Queens in the deck, and we ended up drawing both of our Sliver Queens. So what we really need right now, what would be really nice, is another land. And of course, we jumped the shark like Fozzie. Fozzie was Chris Jericho's band. What am I talking about? Yeah, okay, so Spirit of the Night, protection from black, flying, trample, haste protection from black. Spirit of the Night has first strike as long as it's attacking legendary creature. This could be hilarious if we get a land. If we can land a land... Land a land? Yes. If we can get a land down, then I'm going to... Does it work on our opponent's creatures? So it had flash anytime it was sorcery. Could have been cast. Controller of permanent becomes... What? The controller of the permanent, it becomes sacrificed at the beginning of their next cleanup. When it enters the battlefield, or target creature from a graveyard under your control. Attach. Okay, cool. Yep. Old cards. So much text. So much confusion. Come on. Draw a land. That's not a land. It's a merfolk that we can't use. That's not good. But that's fine. So we'll just smash our opponent to the face again for another 4. Yield, because we got nothing better to do. Really need to draw a land. It doesn't give it haste or anything, does it? You may cast Necromancy, though, as it had flash, if you cast it any time as a sorcery, it couldn't have been cast. Basically, it has flash. There's your Recurring Nightmare. So sacrifice a creature, return Recurring Nightmare to its owner's hand, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. activate anytime you could activate a sorcery. So at this point, it is not looking very good for us at all. I don't think this deck had, from memory, anything in the way of removal. Yeah, I don't think so. But that's fine. Our opponent's going to hit us for 6. Whatever. Another hidden horror. Yeah, that's not working for us. But that's cool, because at this point, we are still winning. So we're going to try and keep winning here. So our opponent's on 4, so they can't afford to really take much more damage. All they need to do is not attack. Okay, sure. I'm on 7, my opponent's on 4. Ah, Spike Feeder. Damn it. Oh, what is that? Reflecting Pool. 1 mana of any type you mana pool. Okay, great. How can that help us get around the Spike Feeder? That is flying. It can't. In fact, only thing I can really do is Hidden Horror discarding a Sliver Queen, but Sliver Queen's still black anyway. Try and outvalue my opponent that way. That won't work. Yeah, okay. Could put a Merfolk down. Because then we can at least just discard a card and draw a card. I don't feel like that's the answer though. I feel like a Necromancy at the end of my opponent's turn sounds like a good idea. But we are going to attack to make our opponent get rid of their Spike Feeder. Because our opponent's all tapped out of mana. So they can't transfer the +1/+1 counters. And we'll see if that works. Because our opponent has to block here. They don't have a choice. It's block or die. Spike Feeder gains life. Wow, I didn't even know it had that ability. Oh yeah, remove a +1/+1 counter. Oh boy. Doesn't that sound like amazing? So our opponent's back on 5. Again, still not a big problem just yet. Our opponent has enough to kill us on board if they attack with everything. Or if they put a +1/+1 counter on that guy there. Alright, cool. Now we know at least what our opponent is playing. Survival of the fittest. Right. Destroy target artifact. Oh man, Yutabi Orangutans was so good. Non-aura enchantments. So Tranquil Domain is always good. It's nice and cheap as well. Dread Knight would not useful here. Hydroblast is not useful here, but those Tranquil Domains are. I think probably going to take out 2 Sliver Queens, chuck in 2 Tranquils. The Living Death just... I think that needs to come out as well, because our opponent can just sack to that and get some real good value. So we don't want to do that. And we will see if this works. Coffee. So this is going back to basically Mirage Visions era, I like to say. So many good historical decks popped up from this particular era of Magic. You had White Weenie deck, You had the black weenie deck, or the suicide black, which wasn't really a weenie deck, but like had knights and stuff with a lot of first strike and a lot of really, really cool tricks. Look, you take lots of damage, but you'd have contagions and stuff. There was the first real counterspell deck, which had something like, I think, 20 different ways to basically say no to your opponent. It ran one creature and it ran 4 Stalking Stones, which were the only ways to kill your opponent. It just basically just went, no, no. Oh, you want to play that? No. No, you can't have that either. No. It literally just said no to your opponent and just did it over and over and over until either your opponent conceded or you found a way to like inkle their life down to nothing. There was a number of decks. Obviously, the Survival of the Fittest deck was really good back in the day as well. Do we want to play first? Yes, of course we do. We're on the play. We do have Necra 7, which casting cost is 6. So that would be turn 2. We could pretty much get it out on turn 2, but I feel like that's still really just not going to be fast enough against Survival of the Fittest. Let's mulligan. Oh, that's terrible, but we're going to keep it. Because we've got the Tranquil Domain, which is really solid. Mana Leak? You know what? Let's put that on top. Good old Mana Leak. City of Brass. I don't think I own a single copy of City of Brass anymore. How weird is that? We don't have anything really. Just got a creature card, yeah. That's a pity that we didn't have the creature card to discard the horror to get the horror out on the first turn. But what you gonna do, brother? MTG AUStream coming with the auto host. Yo, what up? Okay, so we got both Cities of Brass down now. We're just gonna sit on that for a little while. Borath Stronghold. Okay, so for that we're gonna Mana Leak it. Blue. And I guess white, because why not? What just happened there? Undo. This one here, blue. And then blue, thank you. Whew. I don't mind taking 2 damage to get rid of my opponent's Survival of the Fittest. Come on, big fat creature. Yeah, alright, great. Dark Ritual. 1 black. Right, so the triggered ability is the damage. That's interesting. Hidden Horror. Discarding. Always healed. Discarding Shivan Dragon. Hey, whole box and dice. Nice to see you, man. Welcome to my weird stream of sorts. We've just lost game 1 of Reanimator. Godzilla, as apparently the deck was known back in the day. I never heard this deck be called Godzilla ever. Maybe that was a US thing. But yeah, that happens. So Spike Feeder, of course, coming back in because our opponent's like, oh, got to have something to block that horror and not take all the damage. Which is fine. Come on, land. That's not land. Why can't I draw land in this shitty deck? Ugh. The one thing I never liked about Reanimator was getting stuck on 2 lands. Felt like all the time. All the time. Is not my favorite thing. What does that do? Target creature card from your graveyard onto your library. Ah, yeah, sure. Because, you know, for a stronghold, Survival of the Fittest. Attack me for 2, go for it. I don't care at all. So our opponent's winning on the life gain. On the life game. Ooh, Undiscovered Paradise. I remember that. Orcish Settlers. That's not going to be good for us. If our opponent, like, nukes our lands. Okay, so what we really need to do is we really need a land. Really, really need a land. That is not a land. Throwback deck. Yes, serious? May as well attack, because my lands, they're going bye-bye. Land destruction. It's the one thing that I really both do and do not miss about old Magic the Gathering. Okay, so our opponent can destroy what? One land? Is that right? 2 lands. Right, of course. Can destroy both of my lands. I didn't even think of that. Any order, it doesn't matter. What order do you want these to go into a graveyard? Do I care? Come on, lands. Now I start getting land. Of course now I start getting land. Alright, time to start whopping our opponent back in the face. And hopefully they don't draw anything really good. And hopefully next card is a land. They are pre-built and randomly assigned, absolutely. So it's a gauntlet, basically. So there's a number of decks that were the top decks from the standard, back in the whole Mirage cycle. And that's why you're seeing things like Voreth Stronghold. I'm playing against Survival of the Fittest, which is it's not fit at all. From here, I've got nothing to do. I'm just going to hit yield. My opponent might hang back to stop them from taking extra damage. But yeah, so basically there's like a couple of World Champion decks in here, or I should say a World's winning deck in here and a bunch of runner-ups. I actually used to have a lot of these decks, the World Champion versions as well. But yeah, things that you think later on where I should have probably have kept a whole bunch of cards when I didn't. Yeah. Because I'm smart like that. Coffee. Right, well, while we're waiting for our opponent. So, things coming up on the 29th of this month. Double check that. Yes, Saturday the 29th of this month over on Dioshi TV. So that's twitch.tv/Dioshi TV. We will be doing a Command of the Gathering live in-store at Good Games Melbourne CBD as our live in-store. Now, Brad Dioshi can't make it, unfortunately. Dioshi is actually going to be over in Sydney at a charity event. Oh, Recurring Nightmare. Wish there was a way around it. So that's something that's going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, it is. He's going to show me lands again, and I'm not drawing land anyway. Right. So that will be our special based around Amonkhet. So we'll only be using Amonkhet related commanders, and obviously a spattering of good Amonkhet cards in our decks. So that's something to obviously come take a look at. It's going to be lots of fun. We're going to lose this deck again. We don't have anything here. Yeah, go ahead. Just destroy my last land. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do it. You're going to do it? Oh, okay. You're going to let me play another land then? That's fine. And then on the 6th of May, we're going to be doing Drafting Bad live from Meglin's house. So that's where I have engineered for, well, 6 other players really, but 5 other players plus Des will be on camera, pulling up card images and stuff like he does. And we will be playing, we'll be drafting Amonkhet, which is really super exciting for me. Oh, opponent tapped out. And that means we want to go. Well, this is going to do me damage anyway, so I don't care, whatever. Whoop. No, I think we just tapped the wrong ones. You, tap for a green. You, also for a green, because why not? Alright, great. Not what we're hoping for, but meh. Opponent's going to use survival of the fittest anyway. Yeah, so that's going to be great. We're going to be doing live. It'll be here on this particular channel, so twitch.tv/Cheshire Plays Games. If you miss it, it will be up on video on demand here and over on YouTube at Cheshire Plays Games. So definitely come and hang out and watch that because it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be drafting pure Amonkhet because obviously newest Sentinel. And I'm springing for it basically, so nerve-wracking. Leading up to that, of course, blossoms. Leading up to that, of course, you will find that I will be doing some box openings between the release date on the 28th. Remember that we go live on Diashi's channel on the 29th. I was going to bounce my creature. Whatever. Yep. So that is something else to also be aware of, simply because we're going to have a lot of stuff going on, especially with myself getting super busy trying to set up this whole live draft thing, which is going to be a lot of fun and a lot of work, and hopefully it's going to pay dividends, just in the form of it being a cool thing for us to do. Gemstone Mines. I did buy one of those recently. I wonder if it's in the pile. I need to go through. I have all of these cards, like my spell quellers and everything, because I'm trying to get ready for the next standard season that's about to happen, basically. And I want to make sure I'm ready, which I'm totally not ready. Keeping my eyes on the spoilers, because I think that we might see a red weenie deck coming out of Amonkhet, which would be really lovely. I guess we should probably talk about Amonkhet at some point, because I know people have been wanting me to do stuff. Trade Wind Rider, okay. People have been wanting me to do stuff for a while now, and I just unfortunately haven't been able to. Exile bottom card of take a player's graveyard. Exile a card from graveyard, draw a card. We are quite positively screwed. Turn target permanent to its owner's hand. I feel like here we should probably just concede the game, but we're just going to yield through. It is possible we'll see a blue-white flash. The double-sided card looks really cool, so I'm actually pretty excited about that. I don't know how well it'll really work, but we'll see. The reason I went out and bought those is because of the new 2 casting cost of blue-white legendary creature, and then I realized it was tokens, and I was like, yeah, that's disappointment. So I don't know if blue-white flash will be as good as blue-white tokens, but certainly Gideon and blue-white tokens sounds like it's going to be bloody amazing. Enough water yield. Wow, this is going to be really horrible. There's nothing we can do against Recurring Nightmare. They're just going to keep destroying our lands, so we'll just concede out, and we'll go again. Play! Yeah, what with Gideon being so good, I figure that Spell Quellers might increase in price again, perhaps. Obviously didn't buy them for like financials. Really just bought them because it sounds like it's going to be a solid investment into the new standard. But then thinking about the fact that what the casting cost is 3, Gideon comes down on turn 3. Yeah, makes it a bit awkward because it's like I'm not really sure if it's worth the investment to be playing spell callers at that point. But then again, is Gideon just going to ruin the entire format like everyone thinks it's going to? That's also a very, very strong possibility. It's not broken, but Gideon is really good. Those of you who don't know, Gideon is now 2 white and a colorless for the new Gideon. It has a +1 prevent damage done by a target permanent this turn, until your next turn, I think. And then it has a 0, becomes a 4/4 indestructible walker until the end of turn. And then it has a 0 that says put an emblem into play that says you can't lose the game and your opponent can't win the game whilst you have a Gideon Planeswalker in play. So that's a thing. And that's why there's so much chatter about it, because people are like, well, you know, it breaks the format and it's too good and it comes down on turn 3 and there's actually 3 different Gideons. There's this Gideon, then there's Gideon of Ally as a Zendikar at 4 mana, and then there's the Gideon from the Planeswalker deck, which I think is 5 or 6 mana, and they all become dudes, basically. Hey, look at me, I'm an indestructible dude, ho ho ho. And that's why everyone is freaked out, because they're like, well, it's pre-ordering it like $50 when they were supposed to be making standard cheaper. That worked. Do we get anything in here we can use? No, we are going first mulligan. Mulligan to something even worse. Do we keep it and Firestorm out a Shivan Dragon into the discard pile? We'll keep it on 1 land. Reanimator. Not drawing you lands, ever. Or Reanimator. Ha! you wanted to play cards? Other things. I think we will see, speaking of forest, I think we're going to see a really, really good... Oh, God. Okay, fine. Nope, untap. Any land you guys could produce. You know what? Let's just keep it tapped. We couldn't even get the land. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, so you're about to see my favorite deck go off. As soon as you see squandered resources, you know. Okay, so we're going to have to be as quick as possible. If you're wondering what's about to happen, our opponent is playing the Frostbloom deck. I'm fairly certain this is the only deck that runs squandered resources, and it is an amazing deck. And this means that next turn, our opponent might be able to go off on us. Hopefully not, we will see. Let's go you for black, Dark Ritual. Then we're going to remove a counter for red. We're going to Firestorm. We're going to choose our opponent, which is 1. As an additional cost to cast fire, just discard X cards, and it deals X damage to each of X. Too much to read. X is 1, that's fine. Discarding the Shivan Dragon. Click a card to discard. X is currently 1. Yes, that's fine. Necromancy. Always yield. Shivan Dragon. And that is how you turn to your Shivan Dragon. Our opponent now has 3 lands. Okay. So it doesn't look like our opponent's going to be able to go off this turn. If they know the deck, they'll definitely be able to go off next turn. Yeah. Speaking of Impulse, there was actually a promo Impulse that came out in Duelist back in the day, which was really cool. I don't exactly remember it though. It was far too long ago. Just want a blue out of you. I don't want to remove a counter off you, but I'm going to have to. You know, we probably actually should have kept up Mana Leak. Shit. Who cares? That's a player and a half. Yes, I should have held it up. I am not thinking straight. It's been a very long day at work. So that's a thing that happened. Card Bazaar. Thanks for the follow, Card Bazaar. How bizarre are you? 7-9 of Spades, thanks for joining the chat as well. Nice to have you. Welcome in. Make yourself at home. I know I did. Here we go. There it is. Oh, just love Cadaverous Bloom. Look at that artwork. You don't see artwork like that anymore. That makes me super excited. Abanes enter the exile zone. Uh-oh. Here we go. Squandering out all the lands. Sacrificing all the stuffs. Natural balance. Yeah. Sure, you can do that. So each player who controls 6 or more lands chooses 5 lands he or she controls and sacrifices the rest. Each player who controls 4 or fewer lands may search his or her library for up to X basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield where X is 5 minus the number of lands that you control. Do you want to use it? Yeah, sure, why not? Swamp Island? Sure, you can draw some cards. I've got nothing here. I'm just gonna hope that my opponent screws up and doesn't find the other card draw, because the big weakness of how this particular deck works is you can sometimes just outright drain their counter their drain life. Doesn't always work, and we'll see how smart the opponent is. I assume that they're smart enough to know what they're doing. Prosperity? Sure. Yeah, our opponent already knows. They've got their prosperity. It's highly unlikely that that they're going to lose. And really, this is just my fault, because I didn't hold up the Mana Leak when I should have. But you know what? We get to see how well this deck works and how exciting this deck is. Like, again, back in the day, this was just the coolest deck. I loved running this deck so much, and I'm sure it annoyed other people, and it's dirty combo, and I know how much I say in, like, Command of the Gathering. I'm usually talking about how much I don't allow, you know, dirty combo into the game, but what you gonna do? Oh, we don't have anything left that we can grab. Yep, sure. Speaking of Command of the Gathering, I mentioned this before, but I have to mention again, all the time. On the 29th of this month, which is a Saturday, we will be at Good Games CBD here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Just in case you were confusing it with, you know, Victoria, Vancouver, Canada, or wherever it is, Victoria, Canada. Letting Ready Run people will know that. Something to bear in mind, because... Well, let's see what our opponent does here. That's interesting. No green. Oh, they got plenty of cards in hand. Another prosperity. They have 2 mana down, and they can exile cards whenever they want. We'll just let it flow through. So yeah, Command of the Gathering is happening on the 29th of this month, and it is going to be an Amonkhet special edition. So that means we're only playing with Amonkhet legendary creatures as our commanders, and that's super exciting. We'll see what comes out when it comes to legendary creatures. The gods seem fairly interesting, but at the same time they make me a bit nervous. We will see how that goes. Come on, get greedy. Get greedy and try and overkill. No, they're not going to get greedy. That's fine. Our opponent knows exactly what they're doing then. Drain life. Well, we don't have any choice. With that mana leak and which our opponent paid for it. I love this deck so much. It's so great. Alright, cool. So at least now we know what our opponent's playing. Black-green. Alright. So we could throw in some Tranquil Domains here as well. We'd have to think of something to get rid of. I think I can probably peel off... I still don't like Sliver Queen in this deck. I really don't. I'm going to peel off the 2 Sliver Queen and put in 2 Tranquil Domains, maybe. Living Death. If we live that long, I feel like there's nothing else I really would take out. Necrosavant, maybe, but to be honest, Necrosavant's kind of a pillar in this deck. I think we'll just run with that and see how we fare. And this time we won't be a dick. Do we want to play first? I seriously think that we want to, yes. Okay, so we've got the Merfolk Looter. We have no action, we have no removal, no counter spells, no destruction for their stuff. That could be really bad. So I think we're best to just mulligan there. Oh god, that's terrible. Oh, the one time I really wish I wasn't playing around a meta deck. Okay, so we could keep it and hope that we get a land that we could use, which is only, I think there's 4 gemstone mines. I can't remember how many Undiscovered Paradise are in here, but probably not enough either. We've got Firestorm we can discard our Verdants with, but I feel like I just want to mulligan into something even worse. Oh, I have the worst luck here. Alright, we're just going to have to keep that. Underground River, we'll put that on top. I have a feeling that we are definitely not going to go real well. We can't horror, but we did get our enchantment kill, so that's fine. Sort of, but not really. We'll just yield here. Okay, so we'll just keep yielding out. This is, again, the problem I have with Reanimator. Reanimator is just not my most favorite deck. Okay, so this time we're not even gonna. It's too late now for us to horror, I think. 1, 2. Opponent can technically go off on 3 if they're playing Dark Rituals. I don't think his deck plays Dark Rituals. He or her. I'm gonna assume it's a male. So we are gonna Dark Ritual here. Try and get some beats on the board. I know that we should probably hold off so that we can Hidden Horror and discard something like a Verdant. But at this point, I just want to get some damage. I want to start being able to do damage. Opponent impulses? Sure. This makes me actually want to go and get one of the old decks back together and chuck it in. Just loved this era. I'm gonna say something that's a bit controversial. I miss dirty decks. And now, don't get me wrong, it's not like, I miss dirty decks because I literally just miss the era where you had so many different diverse decks doing different diverse things all the time. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We don't want squandered resources down. We want to make our opponent work for it. I feel like I want to hit it now instead of mana leaking. Simply because they can sacrifice lands to save their stuff. Let's do it. Gemstone Mine for a green. Colorless. I feel stupid doing it now, but we will see what happens. Start pounding on our opponent's face. I did hit okay. There we go. We'll see if that was the right or wrong move. I'm going to assume that it was right, but you know what they say about assuming. Because we took out a primary way for our opponent to be able to trigger off destroying those or saccharine those lands for a natural balance. So we may have bought ourselves enough time. Well, now we've got a mana leak to hold up anyway, so... Means that if they try and play another squandered resources, we can counter it. Skip your next turn, that's fine. I'll get 2 turns in a row. And you have to hope that I don't get something to reanimate. Drat. But at least I get 2 turns in a row here, so I'm going to smack my opponent for a nice healthy 8. Land, so we're on 4 land now, which, to be honest, is really weird, especially with how screwed we were getting on land before. So our opponent's on 2 life. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think our opponent's going to have a way to get out of this unless they squandered resource. Because if they squandered resource, they've got enough cards in their hand that even if I counter the squandered resources or attempt to, they'll pay the 3, so it goes through, sacrifice all their lands, play the Cadaverous Bloom, still be a mana up for the blue, pitch all the cards in the hand, Prosperity. Yeah, okay, no, they're not going to be able to. Yeah, that's cool. Are they trying to go for squandered resources here? City of Ask? Sure. Squandered resources, mana leak. This one here, yeah. Blue, colorless. Oh, booyah! Wow, that was really weird. Do we have anything else? No. We could probably put another Tranquil in and get rid of Living Death. Because I don't feel like Living Death is quick enough against this kind of combo deck. Yes, standard throwback, new meta, indeed. Mr. Whist777, I'm assuming you're a mister. I do that with everyone, I just assume. And most of the time just make myself an ass. So, nice to see you, welcome in. So things you missed, played against Survival of the Fittest Nightmare deck, which was terrible. Nightmare of the Fittest. That was... I got stomped. I got absolutely trashed. It just... Yeah. But this time... ooh. We're definitely going to keep that. That is a really sexy hand. That is a lot of goodness against this control deck. Combo deck. Alright, Gemstone Mine down. Yield! Now, our opponent's probably going to have the squandered resources already. No? Okay. Terrific. Okay, so mana of any color you mana pool during your next untap step as you untap permanents, return and discover paradise to your hand. I'm gonna have to do it. The question is, do I want to use my mana here? We did it last time and we were fine. If they squandered resources, I could be in trouble. But I think I'm gonna go with the traders. Always yield. Which one are we going to discard, hey? How about Verdant Force? That sounds like a great idea. And then yield. Oh, what? They just spoiled a Tribal Cat Leader card? Type it in chat right now. Tell me what it is. Tribal Cat Leader. That's just... Yay! Okay, so from here we can Dark Ritual, Necromancy onto the Verdant Force, but I feel like we should probably wait until the end of our opponent's turn to try and stop them comboing off just in case. Attack with my 1/2 merfolks. Eat my damage to your face, heathen. I've got nothing. Okay, so let's have a look. Regal Caracal, a 3/3 cat for how much? 3/3 cat for 5/3 white? What? Can't be right. Okay. End of turn. Dark Ritual time. Hello? Hello, Dark Ritual? What is going on with my MTG? And everything. Did I just... Oh, okay. It worked. Sure. Necromancy. Verdant Force. Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, what? I thought... Did I just play that absolutely horribly wrong? Yeah, okay. That was, fun. Chat stopped. I don't know. Really? I didn't... Doesn't... It couldn't have been cast. The opponent becomes... Sacrifice... Okay. If you play it with Flash, you've got to sacrifice it at the end step. Well, that was fun. We can animate it instead, and then potentially leave ourselves open to our opponent comboing off. Do we want to run the risk? I feel like I want to run the risk. Screw it, as they say. Black. Coops, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Draw 4 cards, you skip your next turn. My opponent wants to skip the next turn, that's fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. Coops, don't leave me hanging. I want to know what this Cat Lord does. Cat Lord! Oh, where's he? Okay. Undiscovered. We're going to leave these open this time. Attack our opponent with both. This makes me want to hop out of chat just so I can see it. Okay, so our opponent has dropped a Cad Bloom. The hard way. That's fine. End step, we're going to put ourselves in danger, but we don't really have a choice. Did it work? Did we kill our opponent? Attack! With everything! 6, 7, 8, 9. Drop the City of Brass. End our turn. Now, I wonder... Firestorm. As an additional cost to cast fire, discard X cards and it deals X damage to each of X target creatures and or players. Oh. Okay, sure. I thought my opponent was going to do something else there. Alright, so we beat Cad Bloom, so we're 1 up and 1 down. I am going to pop out of chat for just a second. Alright, so I think we're going to go in and just finish this last game. This league has 6 days on it. I think that that's real tiny. So let's go back in, get this last game over and done with. Whether we win or lose, at least we got to play against one of my favorite decks in the whole damn world and beat it, which is amazing. I wonder if I was playing some sort of weird jank version back in the day, if I was playing Dark Rituals. I'm not sure if it was stock standard with Dark Rituals. I think that might have been my tech against, because I was trying to make it go as fast as possible. Damn, you know, I don't remember. I just don't. We're going to go first here. Our hand is True City of Brass, which is good. Mana Leaks, not so great. Necromancy, nothing to discard cards. Mulligan. And it's going to regret it, aren't I? Lots of stuff, but nothing that helps. I feel like I've made a big mistake. Coops, you gotta keep telling me what this Cat Lord thing is. You know what, actually? While we're waiting, I'm gonna find out. Now, do we win a mulligan? We've got no action. Nothing is gonna help us. I feel like we should. And I'm probably gonna... actually not regret it. That's fine. It's actually not that bad. Island, we want more land, so that's definitely going up at the top. And I think we're gonna start off with the Sulfurous, and then yield. Let's see about this Cat Lord. Australian internet, mate. It's fantastic. No. Okay. Let's try Mythic Spoilers, shall we? We're just gonna yield through swamp, so we don't know what our opponent is playing. Hopefully it's going to be not Suicide Black, because from memory this deck has a lot of problems with Suicide Black, because Suicide Black just pops up all those blockers. Cat Lord, Cat Lord, Cat Lord. No, you're an embalmed cat. Even Mind Sensor. Coops. I can't see any Cat Lord, buddy. No, 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 no. No, I don't know what he's talking about. Island. You know, we could go and dump, but I feel like I want to leave Mana Lake up and see what our opponent is playing. I'm a bit dubious. I feel like there's something is about to go down, maybe, but we'll see what our opponent does. Trying to find this damn Cat Lord. Let's check the MTG AUStream and see if any of my co-conspirators have tweeted it out. No, no, no. Okay. So those who don't know, I'm a part of a team called MTG AUStream, or just AUStream really. And we are all creators of either board game content or Magic the Gathering content or other trading cards. And many of us actually stream here on Twitch. Urban Neurosis was just finishing up streaming with her brother from Sydney. She's here in Melbourne, of course, but she was streaming retro games. I believe that MP Numbers is going to be drafting later tonight when he gets home. He'll be doing some Magic the Gathering, probably draft because he loves to draft. And I would suggest that you go and... what are we going to do here? I think we'll just yield. I just suggest that you go and check out the Whole Box and Dice on the YouTubes, because Coops does some really good Magic the Gathering content, and usually in the morning sessions you can check out... Is that the Cat Lord? Here it is, meet Scarab Face. No, that's not a Cat Lord. No, that's not a Cat Lord. Damn it, nothing here is a Cat Lord. That's a cat. That's a Cat Lord! Okay, okay. Oh, 5 casting cost. Okay, sure. Silasari, do follow Silasari on Twitch, because she does some great content. Blue Black? Oh dear. Lobotomy. Okay, sure. Merfolk Traders it is. 1, 2. Merfolk Traders. If it doesn't get counted, the Sculling Verdant Fort is going to get counted. Damn it, I should have known. As soon as that island came down, I was just like, I have made a terrible mistake. Yield. Power empties mana pool. Ah, it does actually tap all my stuff down. Wow, that's frightful. Okay. City of Brass. Firestorm. On our opponent. On our opponent. Great. Discard. Pay the red. We use the Sulphurous Springs. Discard a card. Yes, we already did that, didn't we? Then we get a Necromancy. What just happened? There's something screwy with this that doesn't work properly. Okay, so black. Pay 2, yes we know. So 1, 2, there we go. Always yield. Get that Verdant Force. So it's a 3/3 creature cat. It's a rare. Regal Caracal is 3 colors and 2 white. Great, thank you for the token. Yield. Other cats you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. When Regal Caracal enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1 white. Always yield. 2/1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. That then, of course, become 2/2s. Wow. Okay. So it looks like, hey Gemma, if you're watching, it looks like you're about to have yourself a new cat for your cat deck, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if I would call it a cat lord though, because it's not legendary. It does cat lordy stuff, but without being a legendary cat, which I guess thematically is fine, but not really. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought that my opponent was playing the lobotomy deck. And it turns out that we're up against my favorite deck again. And we're probably... Oh, no, maybe not. This might be the lobotomy deck. It might actually run squandered resources. I guess we'll find out in a minute. No, it is Prosbloom. Do we want to counter it? Yes, we do. Blue. 1. 5 Cadaverous Bloom. Any secondary opponent wants to concede. Yeah, the cat's cool. The cat's alright. Let's retweet that. And then I should probably bring up my chat. Okay, so we already know how we want to handle this. So we'll do that again. We'll grab all 3 of these. Yes, we'll take out Sliver Queens, Living Death, and then go forth and conquer. Alright, back in the chat. Whew. So I've got to remember to set up my chatbot, which is something I have not done. I have also not set up my images correctly on the social media channels because Twitch recently released a change to their policy that you can finally actually change your username. So instead of mine being Cheshire Lives, like twitch.tv/Cheshire Lives, it's now Cheshire Plays Games, to be more in line with the rest of my socials, at least most of them, at least with the YouTube. Which is the most important. Waiting for our opponent. And while we do that, we should probably go and sort chunks of cards. Just as we pick it up, we have to put it back down. I don't think I've got anything on this weekend except for an NVIDIA event on, I think, Sunday afternoon at 3 PM. I've got to be in the city for that. Other than that, I don't really have anything I need to do, which is great. Alright, so here I'm thinking first turn, City of Brass, Firestorm, discard Necro 7. Then next turn we can Dark Ritual, Necromancy, Necro 7. And hopefully draw a land. Let's try it, shall we? We're 1 game up anyway, so I mean if we fail, we fail. And that's fine. Ooh, that might even be better actually. Maybe not. We'll do the Firestorm. Always yield to that one. Firestorm on our opponent. I mean, I could even Firestorm on me, to be honest. That was weird. Huh. Okay, discard 2 cards. So we'll discard Necrosavant. And I think we'll get rid of the Hidden Horror as well. Just so that we can do the extra 1 point of damage to our opponent, really. Which our opponent's probably just like, what are you even doing? We could have even done it at the end of our opponent's turn, but to be honest, I just kind of wanted to do it now. See what happens. Now our opponent here should be able to just go black-green squandered resources. Like that. And now we have to hope that we draw into... That's not a land. Okay, so instead we're going to have to... Dark Ritual. Necromancy. What are you talking about? That is our 3. It's on the stack. Why is it on the stack? Oh, that's fine. Okay. Right. Now we'll Necromancy. And we will get back the Necrosavant. So we really need to draw a land, or we are screwed. I mean, technically speaking, we needed to already have the land now, and that's why. So that's fine, but we're not drawing anything. That's not fine. City of Solitude. Draybor, if you ever see this, that's for you. For your City of Solitude deck. That was the most annoying deck, because I used to love running counters. So, City of Solitude, of course, is the best way to stop somebody doing that. Our opponent's going to take some damage for us. That's nice of them, thank you. It's going to yield. 2, 3, 4. I need 1 more land. Is there anything else they can do here? I guess that they could tutor what they need. Vampiric Tutors. Again, Vampiric Tutors were at one point like $5 a pop. I'm not kidding. And then they all of a sudden just became ridiculously expensive. We are not drawing lands. This is not good for us at all. Yield. Our opponent's on 5. There we go. I was going to say, our opponent's on 5 life. Like, we might be able to kill them if they can't find their answer. And lo and behold, no answer found. 2-1. Okay, that's great. I really, really dig standard throwbacks. I really do. Because this is me being able to experience things I remember from 20 years ago, you know? I mean, these decks, I haven't played these in so long, and I miss so many of these cards, and I really miss the way Standard used to be. It didn't used to be just like Wizards wanting to create creatures to just tap and attack, which is so boring. And it used to be about combo decks and burn decks with like Hammer of Bogarden. If you don't know what that is, go and look it up. It's an amazing burn spell. You had your weenie decks, your white weenie and your black weenie, or your, you know, black suicide, or, you know, there was a zoo deck as well at one point, which is obviously still sort of popular and modern now and again. You had your first counterspell decks, your first combo decks. You had other weird decks that were just like full of utilities, like the Survival of the Fittest recurring Nightmare deck. You know, recurring Nightmare of the Fittest, I think somebody used to call it at one point. I could be wrong. You had stuff like Randy Bueller's, you know, 20-30 counterspell deck, the permission deck that just said no. I miss that about Magic. I miss counterspell decks. Wizards have gone out, and apparently players have said they don't like those permission decks. They don't like playing against burn, and they don't like combo. So effectively, it sounds like the majority of people just want to turn creatures sideways and hit stuff. Um, and I don't know why. I don't understand, because that's really not my thing. Um, Command of the Gathering is on the 29th of this month. Just to do the wrap up again at Good Games Melbourne CBD. If you can't make it out to Victoria, Australia, Melbourne CBD, that's fine, because we are going to be live on twitch.tv/Dyoshi. We're going to be using Yoshi's account while he, unfortunately, isn't going to be co-hosting with me. Instead, I'm going to be having the Big G, big man himself, Soto, which is a great COD streamer and variety streamer. Variety streams sometimes, but definitely come hang out with us. I'm going to have Brian from Good Games, who is the promotion and event manager of Good Games, is going to be playing with us. That's going to be super exciting. And we're going to have, of course, Prima Cat back on the show. She is, excuse me, Extra Life variety streamer. She actually just received her medallion, her Extra Life medallion. She's super happy about it. So that will be an Amonkhet special, where we'll only be playing commanders that are available from Amonkhet, and I keep hiccuping, so I apologize. On the 6th of May, come join myself, Derek Desmags, my images and camera guy, as well as a variety of different people, including Meglin, Prima Cat, and some people you've never seen on my streams before, who will be coming on. We will be doing a diversity stream. What that entails is it's basically going to be Amonkhet drafting for 6 players, not 8, and people from all different walks of life. So it's not just going to be like a bunch of white dudes sitting around just going, hey, we're so cool, because that's boring. So do come and check that out. That will be the 6th of May, and that will actually be my birthday stream as well. So it's going to be lots of fun, and I'm probably going to be really drunk and eating kebabs or something or other. And there will be potentially prizes. I am still teeing that up, even if I have to supply them myself, which is a possibility. We're definitely going to try and get something in there for you, the viewers, to come in and watch the live stream, because the more people we get, the more we can turn around to Wizards and go, hey, look at this cool stuff. Check me out on YouTube at youtube.com/Cheshire Plays Games, where I do unboxings of some awesome stuff, which I do get from Wizards now and again because they like my content. So hopefully you'll like my content too. The more comments, likes, subscribers I get, the more I can show them that, you know, we're making progress and they should give me more stuff, which means that you might get more stuff out of that as well, because we'll be able to do giveaways and things like that on the channel, which would be great, both here and on the YouTubes. As for that, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. I'm gonna go and relax. It's been a fun stream. I love throwbacks, and we should do this more often, and I probably will. But you know what they say, all good things come to an end as soon as I can figure out which one I'm going on to. And now you get to see this whole horrible setup, because the way XSplit works. And hopefully I haven't dropped too many frames. It doesn't look like we have. A little bit. But thank you for coming along, and just remember, keep cracking packs, which is not necessarily true. It's more like keep opening goodness, rather than me telling you to go out and buy boxes, because singles are obviously going to be better, but boxes are